Lesson 7. Wings. That's what we're trying to get. Is a set of wings. And it also finishes it off as a female fairy. Now, a little 1 inch, I did up one and I exaggerated the wings on it. Now that silver wire that I got, don't bother. It turns into copper when you actually stretch it and do a lot with it. It cracks the silver off it, so by the time that was finished, it looked woeful. So I actually spray painted it with silver instead of clear, which is what I normally do. So, the wing section, alright, close up. You may be able to see her, put her in some light. She's actually very tiny and a very big head. It's almost like she's got a space helmet on, but okay. The wing section, there's 2 wires. Now these ones have to actually be long enough to go around the body, and in this case that body, go around the body about 3 times when they're finished, and this one has to be just a bit longer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it in large wire, and then I'll show it to you again in the wire that I'm going to use to make the actual wings for this one. So we'll take this away. This is the larger wire. So basically what you're doing for a wing is you're folding it over and then you're just bringing it back in that way. So there's one. Now to get the second one, we come down back to what we would call that point there. We do a sharp bend and run straight back up along the top of the wing. We pick a point about 2/3 of the way, do another fold, again bring it back so it sits within that area there. Now in the next series with the larger fairies, the big up to 4 feet, that's close to 2 feet long. So what happens here is that I actually do 3, there'll be another one in there, and then these are individually tied off like that with a smaller wire. So that holds that together, so that would be tied off up there. Then the second wing would come in here, that would be tied off, so forth. Then what you've got is you've got a piece that's long enough to go around the body, and this piece is longer, and I'll show you why in a minute. So now what I'm going to do is make the wings for her. What I've done is I've taken the wire that I've used and I've spun it up. Now if you don't know how to do that, it's a very simple process. I'm sure I've shown you. If I haven't, then give us a yell, I'll do a thing on how to do that, because you can get some amazing patterns with spinning that up. So what we want to do is we technically need to go around her body twice. Now the wings run from the shoulder to about the knee, so that's how long our wing's going to be. So we'll go that, we'll put a bend in it there, and it comes back to here. So now what I'll do is I go around it once so it's tight there, squeeze that joint tight, come up to where you're going to do the second part of the wing, and you do the same again, bring it across. This is a very long piece of wire, but that doesn't matter. Bring it through and go around the wing so that this piece is on top, come right around the wing and crush it onto that first piece of wire. Do your little loop. You're coming back to this point here, which is the start, Now this time I take that short one and go back around that, and that holds that in place. Now up here you can see there's a gap. Just squeeze that together, and that gives it a bit of body in the back of the wing. Alright, that's one. Now I'm going to go about 6 times the length of the wing and cut off. Alright, so doing that wing again. So we've got that piece about yay long. In this case here it's about 2 inches. And I'm going to come up from there, put a bend in that so I know where it's at, come up from there to the same point on this wing. Doesn't matter if you're a little bit out, because no one's going to see it once it's finished. It's becomes just part of the whole thing. Same as the first wing, try and copy it. Fairly close. So around there once, crush that. Up to this wing, same thing. Okay, I'm not going to do any more of that. I'm going to show you what happens when you put the wings on. You come in from the back, you come in on the top of the shoulder blade, lay this piece down, you cut, wrong side, sorry, flat side's closest to the head. So that longer piece, what I'm going to do with it, because it is so thick, is I'm going over there, which is around the arm, around, and I'm just going to finish it in the middle here. I haven't actually got enough to go around twice. The second piece, this longer section, that goes right around the body once, and then comes over, in this case, her right shoulder. Pull it out straight and tight. So okay, we've got to there. Now, I'll go back to this heavier wire and show you this next step. Where that wire is coming over the shoulder, we're going to form a boob. Simplest way to call it. And all it is a tight screw, come in tighter again. I'm using pretty heavy wire here, so pliers with a bit of roundness in them. So around that again, you produce that, so you've come over the shoulder. That's one boob. So what we do with that is we then put a little tiny bend in it, and then straight, it's almost right on top, little bend, and then straight away we go in reverse of this one. I'm running into a mess here. We go straight away into a reverse. It's a small twist. Try and get it the same size as that one. Then all you're doing is you're coming in close to that. You're coming out and you're copying the other side. So basically what that will do is that sits on the front and it makes it a little girl angel or fairy. So being so small here, pair of little pliers on the inch one, the little silver one, which I've now lost, you can see how small those spirals were. Okay, so that's all there is to it. Once you've got that spiral up, we'll just start here and we'll just go around. It's easy to do on this, and it gets even easier when you get onto the really big ones. Now in her case, one spiral is enough with this double wire. So I'd go across, I'll bring it back in underneath, so I'm reversing. Come back out, and that's plenty. So that bit that's left over, go around. Normally what I do is I come up and I cross under and between the breasts and up over the shoulder, round the neck, and that's it. Just finish it in the back there. Well, in the case of that small 1 inch, you'll see that that's where it was finished. It was finished as a loop. Again, with the magnifying glass, it finished up as a loop. So in the back there, I put a loop just behind the neck, like that, for that small one to hang on. Now, this second wing, I'll stop this video now, this second wing does exactly the same. We don't need to do the boobs now. So you would come around, and from that side, point it out here, you would come around, and once you've got this top, the wing on this side done, that leftover piece, bring it up and cross over here, whoops, cross over here, up around the neck, help form the loop, or just in the case of this one, because it's a bigger one, and it will probably end up as a pin. If that's the case, I would leave that out until you work out what you're going to do with it. Now, once these are done, once you've got your wings, you've got your boobs, you've got your everything done, put some movement in them. Don't leave them statuesque like this. Bend the arms, bend them down, bring the wings up. Do something with them. Now, here's something that's quite easy to do. Twist the torso at the top, twist the torso at the bottom, and then give their knees a bit of a kick. And then what you do is you add life to them. They are no longer some static statue, which I hate. Just remember, bottoms at the back and a flat front. So when you come down the front, it's flat, and then that's that bulb where there always forms when you roll these things up. So then give it some life, even if you have to go a bit further. That wing can come anywhere in 60 different positions. It can, if you want, come back and be with the other wing, or up here like this. The other wing is up here. Right? Give them some life, because otherwise they just look static. And it's the one thing I hate about jewellery, is that a lot of it, when people are doing something along the lines of an animal or whatever, it just looks like it's doing nothing. It's the same with this one. Actually, no, I've bent her arms already. But again, bend there, or let's say we bend it the other way this time. We'll give her a bit of a bend there. We'll give a bit of a bend in the hips. We'll bring the legs over and across, and looks as weird as anything, but anyway, give her some life. Now, here's the trick. If you don't want to make an angel and you want to make a mermaid, trick. There is the mermaid's tail. Or in the case of, forget the little angel underneath, I do that, and then I join it onto the bottom there. Your mermaid now has a tail. So it's exactly the same thing, except this thicker line here would obviously be on this side. So as a mermaid, doesn't matter about this, I'll hide that bit. There's my mermaid's tail. Now, if you don't like it, that's a bit round. With a mermaid I would do that. But just remember that these ones in the centre here have to come the same, so they brought back out into that point as well, so that everything looks more like a fish's tail. Well, that's what a mermaid is, isn't it? So bring it up to a point, bring the next bit up to a point, and the next one. There's my mermaid's tail. And all I've done is, with those longer pieces, I've joined into here. Now, I'd probably make one long enough that you could bring a run back up here to this section. So you've got good strength. You've got an eye in the end there. You can poke both of them through and tie it on. But there would be your mermaid. Up here is where you've got an angel. Alright, any problems? You know what to do, ask. I can only fix, help or do whatever if you ask. And like the book says, if you like, then we get enough likes, these will be given to people. There's 3 now, although that one looks a bit damaged for the moment, but there's 3 at the moment. So hit the like button. Thank you.